Hey everybody, Superfluous Jay here with another Factorio for beginners, and today we have a couple topics to talk about. I was going to talk about uranium ammo, but I've decided not to. It's better ammo. It goes in a gun, it shoots bad guys, they die. There's really no reason to talk about it. I'm also going to talk about the rocket today. We have the rocket control unit, which is the first step in the rocket silo research. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about, other than the rocket, I'm going to be talking about atomic bombs as well. We need to show you how those work. And then the very last thing I'm going to talk about, though, is something I researched a long time ago but never got around to building, and that is the flamethrower. I totally forgot that that we never set up the flamethrower turret. We've talked about the flamethrower itself, but the flamethrower turret I just totally forgot about as a thing. So we need some steel, and we need some engines in order to do that. So let me head down here. Let me turn my logistics off. Oh, it's actually on. Okay, let me turn it off so that nobody takes anything away from me. And we need engines, which are around here somewhere. There's batteries. That's electric engines. They take regular engines. So I'm going to pick up regular engines off the belt. And then I'm going to pick a steel up off the belt. And then I'm going to make, I don't know how many. Let's just make 3, because that's how many it's going to let me make. Flamethrower turrets. If you remember, flamethrowers take flamethrower ammo, which you have to make in a factory or in your hands. Actually, I think you have to make in a factory because they require some sort of liquid fuel or something like that. Well, flamethrower turrets don't. They only take some sort of liquid burnable thing. If you look here, they've got pipes on either sides. They also have this is their destruction ratio. This is where they will throw flame. And what you can do here is, if you look, they will take heavy oil, they will take light oil, and they will take crude oil. So what you can do here is you can actually set up your oil station to pump crude oil into them. So they make a really good, cheap, easy way to protect your oil station. So we can set up another one here. And we can just put it like here, for example, and then run this to here, and then run this like this, and then put this there. And now he can burn from here. He can burn from here. So we've got this whole corner protected, and then we're just gonna throw a third one up here, like this. And just we'll for this one we'll continue this oil line like this and like this. And sadly, I'm not going to show you the offensive capabilities of these guys because they that would require getting biters over here, and I'm not going to expand all the way out into biter territory just to show off flamethrower turrets. But they're super powerful. they throw fire on the ground, and then biters will run right through that fire and just die. The nice thing about flamethrower turrets is they actually scale into the late game. You can set these up early to protect your outposts, and then you can let me actually I get stuck on the pipes all the time. Let me take this guy out because we don't need him. You can put them up early because as soon as you make an oil outpost and you need to protect it, you don't have to take bullets out there. You don't have to worry about laser turrets. You don't have to do any of that. Just throw some flamethrowers out, and they'll take care of it. And then for your oil processing area, it's really nice here because what you can do is you can let me put another one of these flamethrower turrets out here. Let me just put it here. Let me be smart about it and not put it where it's going to burn the train or anything like that. But what we can do here is we can take the light oil, which is a much better, much more powerful fuel for these guys. I need a pipe, and we'll just run it across like that. Now he has light oil in him, and if you look here, the fluid damage modifier for light oil is 110%. Now if I remove the light oil, which actually I can't do easily, I guess I could have. I could have flushed the. I could have flushed the thing. But if I instead put this flamethrower turret right here, this heavy oil is 105%. Remember, it was 110% for light oil. And then if we instead put crude oil in it, let me just find a crude oil thing. Here's one. We'll just plop it right here. It doesn't really matter where I put it because I'm not going to be using it. But if we put it here, crude oil has 100%. So light oil is actually does more damage than crude oil. So you want to use light oil if you can, but if you're having an outpost that doesn't do all the cracking and everything, you're only going to have petroleum at that outpost. So it's better to use the petroleum that you have rather than truck light oil back or something crazy like that. But that's really it. They have a really good range, and the nice thing about them though is they scale. They start out, like I said, you start out. You can just throw them down, and then you have all those researches that I've been doing and not really talking about. Refined flammables increases the damage of fire-based weaponry. You just have those, and you keep researching them throughout the course of the game, and so your flamethrowers just get better and better as the biters get harder and harder to kill, which is a nice thing. You want to be able to kill them as fast as they resist being killed. But anyway, so that's flamethrower turrets. They're awesome. I kind of wish I had remembered them early enough to show them to you, but I didn't, and that's the price we all pay. Okay, so the first step of the rocket is the rocket control unit, which we're going to need a lot of. I don't know exactly how many, so I've set up 8. And rocket control units take processing units, which we're making, so I'll just bring them in on the bus, and speed modules, which I'm going to make on site, just because it's a pain in the butt to get speed modules out. So speed modules take electronic circuits and advanced circuits, and these guys take speed modules and processing units. So all we got to do is bring all 3 circuit types in here, and then they can be used to make rocket control units, which I'm going to send out on the middle like we do frequently. We're only going to need yellow belts because these things take so long to process. What it is these guys process, they take 15 seconds to make a speed module. These guys take 30 seconds to make one of these guys, and they need a single speed module. So every speed module can make 2 rocket control units. So I'm gonna send the speed module stuff into here like this, out of him on each side, and then that way things stay copacetic. And then these guys are going to just bring in their stuff. These guys are going to bring in their stuff from here. Nobody's ever going to have trouble getting the amount of stuff off the belt that they need. It's just not a problem. So we're going to send red and green on this belt, and we're going to send blue on this belt. And then we're good to go. So let's go ahead and just set this up like this. Need a belt coming in like this, and a belt coming in like this, and I'm out of belts, which is always fun. So let's go ahead and get some more, and I'll hook all this up. And you've seen this 100 times, so I'll be back when we're making rocket control units. Okay, like I said, we don't care about throughput, so I'm running everything on yellow belts and splitting them willy-nilly. I've got the blue circuits coming in on just one side of the belt, even because I don't care. I got a little bit on 2 sides of the belt here, but who cares? These guys are now processing and running, and they are spitting things out. We can actually get these guys going. There we go. Rocket processing units are coming. I do not remember where I wanted to put them on the bus. It really doesn't matter where I put them on the bus, but I might as well do it where I said I was going to do it. So let me check my thing. Low density structures. Maybe I didn't actually put them on the bus. Looks like I didn't. So let's put them between low density structures and engines, as long as I didn't already have a place there. So we got engines, low density structures. Is there anything on this line right here? Looks like there isn't. So we're going to put them right here. And I don't think we're going to need more than a yellow belt. We'll find out about that in a little bit. They're going to be coming up here. We can go like this. And then they're going to be coming out somewhere along here. And I think they're probably okay to come out right here. Except this, which I'm going to fiddle with. Don't really care. Just getting them here out here. I think I said, whoops, right here. Or did I? Actually, there's nothing on this line, so I'm going to put them on this line. There we go. And their job is to just come all the way down here and be part of the rocket. And that alert noise that you just heard was the alert for the rocket. The rocket silo is ready to build. So I'm going to, go into my inventory here and find the rocket silo, and I always have trouble finding it because it's never where I expect it to be. It's not with all the rest of the rocket stuff, which is low density structures in the rocket control unit. I think it's a building, so it'd probably be here. Let's see, what looks like a rocket silo to you? That's the big question. So you answer me that, and I'll get back to you when I have found it somewhere. Found it. It's right after radars, which I guess makes a little bit of sense. Anyway, we need 1,000 steel plate, 200 processing units, 200 electric engines, 100 pipe, which I happen to have, and 1,000 concrete. So let's turn off our logistics right now, because we're never going to be able to hold this stuff in our inventory if we don't. So 1,000 steel plate. I believe that is 10 stacks of steel. So let's pick up a whole bunch of steel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and some change. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 26. So just a little bit more steel. And we've now run out of space. So let's drop the rocket control units. Let's drop these. We're actually going to need the processing units, so pick those up again. What else do we need to make this thing? We got our 1,000 steel. We need 200 processing units. Well, guess what? Got all these processing units that we just routed up this belt. Might as well just take them. Is that 200? Yeah. There we go. What else do we need? We need 200 electric engines, which are here somewhere. I think, yeah, we're not putting electric engines on the bus, just regular engines. So we need to find where we're making electric engines, which is apparently up here, and I think it's by robots, because we're not using them for anything else. Yeah, here's some electric engines. Let's go ahead and take these. Is that enough? Yep, we got our 200 electric engines. Now we just need 100 pipe. Oh, sorry, not 100 pipe. We just need 1,000 concrete, which we're almost out of space. Let's go ahead and drop some things into our thing. I'm dropping things that I know I'm not going to use anymore, which is pretty much my entire inventory. But you never know, right? So let's run up here and grab some concrete. That's this regular concrete. We need 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't need gears. 8, 9. Oh, I put the gears in the chest. Oops. Let's put the iron in the chest too. And that'll be fine for now. I think we'll be fine leaving that stuff in that chest. What could possibly go wrong, right? Well, let's tell you what. Let's make our rocket silo, then we can pick this stuff off out of the chest that we just put in here that we don't want. Okay, we're making a rocket silo. Let's let our bots take stuff from us that we don't need. We could also turn our logistics back on. And let everything happen. It takes a long time to build a rocket silo, but you only need one in the entire game. In theory, if you're going to make a mega base, you might need more, but if you're making a mega base, you're not a beginner, and you're not watching the correct series right now. So we have just built the rocket silo, and if you take it out of your inventory, it's pretty big. It's a big thing. It's the biggest thing in the game, I think, possibly, at least in the stock game, obviously. I think I'm just going to slap it down kind of on this side, right, let's say here. Does that look good to you? That looks good to me. Also throw a power pole down. Just keep it going across. Don't really care. I used to care about making sure everything was fine, but I don't anymore. This thing is cool. It opens up. A rocket comes out once you build it. Now, how do we do this? We're going to build a rocket part, we need rocket control units, low density structures, and rocket fuel. I think I put rocket fuel on the bus. I don't remember if I did or not. I intended to. But we can find out in a moment if I did by coming up here and checking this out. Finding out if there is actually rocket fuel coming down here. It looks like it's not. Yeah, rocket fuel is right here. And it's heading up that way. And it looks like, yeah, we're putting some in a box. That was part of my playing around, seeing what I wanted to talk to you about with robots, and I decided not to show you buffer chest moving junk around and stuff like that. This is a free lane. This is a free lane here, and I think it's free all the way down, so we're going to use it. Right here, we're just going to go. I'm going to bring these guys through here, and then we're going to come up like this, and then we're just going to run rocket fuel all the way down. Jumping whenever we need to over obstacles. Oops. Definitely don't want something like that happening. And there is rocket fuel coming down here, right? No, there is not, because I didn't put this on. But it's on its way, and looks like that that single bit of solid fuel got on there too, which is not a big deal. I got rid of it. I like to zoom out a little bit just to make sure that nothing comes up, and it looks like we are using the wrong line, so we're just going to zigzag. Like I said before, I don't really care at this point how ugly the factory looks. I want to finish it. And it looks like we got a zigzag again. Not a big deal. The important thing is we get the rocket fuel down to the rocket silo. And we're out of yellow belts again. Okay, we've got the belt down here. So all we need to do now is run it over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be lame and merely get this thing over here. There's our fuel, and I'm going to use a blue inserter. So there's our fuel. We also need low density structures and rocket control units. Well, conveniently we just set up rocket control units. I just got to find them. Let's see, what are these? Those are robot frames. Here's our rocket control units. And it looks like I could have brought them up here a bit. I'm a little surprised fuel's not here yet, but maybe I'm just jumping the gun. And then we're going to also need a power pole here. Rocket control units, rocket fuel, and low density structures. So yeah, here comes the fuel now. So we should be good. And you know what? I'm going to throw all my rocket control units in there. I don't have any low density structures. I do have a little bit of rocket fuel. Low density structures are also somewhere on the bus. Looks like they didn't come down this far. I thought they were an ingredient in one of these science packs. They are. Here's low density structures. They did make it all the way down here. Oh, they're there. Okay, so we just want to split these off as well. And do the same thing with them here, which is that. And then this is going to get us a rocket as soon as we start putting low density structures in here. Do I have any? I did get a couple in my inventory. And what you're going to see here is these things are going to get loaded in here. And then he's going to start making a rocket. And then, boom, we got a rocket. No, we don't. We have 1% of our rocket. Now we have 2% of our rocket. And now we have 3% of our rocket. Rockets are super expensive, though. We do not want to do these without productivity modules. It's going to slow down the production of it, but it's also going to mean that every, I don't know exactly how many times it is, but every maybe 6 times, 5 times that we do one of these, maybe even 4, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Let's see. When we create one here, this guy's all the way here. So it actually looks more like one every 3 times. So for every 3 times we use ingredients to make a rocket part, we're going to get a free one, which is amazing considering how much these parts cost. Now we're already running low on rocket fuel. We're a little bit behind on rocket parts. Whatever these things are called. Rocket control units, and low-density structures are also getting used as well. I'm not super concerned about running out of these things because they'll eventually get here, and we're already 15% of the way done. But this is something that you're going to want to pay attention to. We're running, actually rocket fuel I think I am going to pay attention to because we need to make sure that this kind of stuff makes it down here because I don't want to spend an hour waiting for the rocket to be built. So I'm going to run up here and see if there's a quick fix I can do on the fuel, just to get it working, so that we're sending a lot along. And as I'm looking at this here, it's looking like we could fix this slightly easily by throwing yellow assemblers on here, the faster assemblers. We got 50 of them. Might as well do that. That makes them a little bit better. And whenever you're dealing with liquid products, you generally just want to do speed modules. However, if this allows me, I think I'm going to put productivities in here. It does. So I'm going to put 3 productivities in each one of these. And then also 1 speed module. I don't really want to talk about why you would do something like this, but it has to do with math. If you, and I don't even know if this is the best way to do it, but if you, every time you throw productivity modules in a thing, they don't do as much benefit as the first one. Like the second one doesn't give you the same mathematical benefit as the second one. So eventually you're actually getting better productivity by throwing a speed module in there instead of a productivity module. So that's why I'm splitting up adding a speed module in there just to speed them up a little bit as opposed to going full productivity. Let's see, I don't want speed modules. I want productivity modules, and I guess I'll take the last 19 and throw them in there, and then hopefully that'll get our solid fuel going a little bit faster, so that we can our rocket fuel getting a little bit faster. That way we can build our rocket a little bit faster as well. But you don't just need a rocket. You also need a payload, and the payload can actually be anything. You don't have to send a rocket up with. Let me head down here. I almost want to swap out those productivities for speeds, but I don't think I'm going to. You don't want to just send a rocket up into space with nothing on it, or with a car. Who would send a car into space? Or a fish, just as a random thing to send. Not that anyone would ever put a fish in the rocket. That would be dumb, wouldn't it? What you want to send is actually a satellite, which is another one of these things that's somewhere on this list, and I cannot for the life of me find it. It never makes sense to me where anything goes on these lists. I know that there's probably a reasonable place to put things. I just don't know where it is. So let me find it, and I'll get back to you when I find it. Yeah, so the satellite requires us to have researched the white science pack. So guess what I'm doing now? I'll be back when I have that researched, and we'll have more of the rocket done as well. Okay, I have brought you back as we are on the cusp of having the rocket be built. We are at 98%. We're at 99%. As soon as this guy gets up there, we have a complete rocket, and the alarm goes off, the doors open, and there she is. Now, as I said before, we do not have a payload for this guy yet. We're still researching space science packs because, they take a long time to research when you're devoting so much of your resources to this. I mean, think about this. All of this stuff in my factory is still having problems. We still don't have enough oil. We still don't have enough red circuits because we don't have enough plastic to get all the way down here. These red circuit assemblers are just not working because we don't have the plastic coming down. It's just the way it works. Plastic is stalling out some of our science production. We don't have we're not getting blue and purple science fast enough to run these things as fast as it is. It's just you need a lot, and you have to pay attention to your bottlenecks. Something I have not done very well in this series. Something I will endeavor to do better in my next series. It's not really a beginner topic, but you should pay attention to these kind of things if you want your factory to be efficient. What I'm doing here is I'm preparing for the day we get the space science pack and we get the ability to make a satellite. I'm going to put it in here, and then I'm going to let this inserter put the satellite into the thing. I can put it in manually, but what I want to do is I want to just kind of mimic the idea that we're automated this. I'm not going to automate it, but we can say auto launch with cargo. And I can also launch it right now and win the game, but I don't want to launch it right now. I want this thing to put a satellite into it and then it to launch automatically, and then we'll watch it launch and then not quite be done because we're still going to blow up some biters. The last grand finale is going to be blowing up biters with an atomic bomb because, hey, who doesn't want to blow up biters with an atomic bomb, right? So anyway, we're researching space science. I'll be back when that's ready to go. Okay, because of the fact that I'm too lazy to put any work into it, this has taken a disturbingly long time, but I finally can make the satellite. I've researched it, and we can construct it. The satellite takes 100 processing units, 100 low-density structures, 50 rocket fuel, 100 solar panels and accumulators, which was the hard part, and 5 radars. I built all these. I actually made the solar panels and accumulators in factories because they take so long to create, and everything else I just built by hand or picked up off the belt. So let's go ahead and make one satellite. It makes very quickly compared to not making it, I guess. And let's go ahead and unceremoniously put it in this box. Actually, let's even make it more fun. Let's do this. Let's pretend it came down off an assembly line. And we'll put it on this belt. We'll let it come down. And we will attempt to race the rocket up north. There it goes. It just put it in. Auto launch with cargo. It's lighting its engines, and here it goes. I want to run with it, basically. Pretty soon it's going to outpace me. There it goes, and goodbye, rocket. And we win the game. Finish the game. We got an achievement. We killed 12,000 trees. We played 38 hours, which, I mean, isn't bad when it comes down to it. We can either finish, which basically quits the game, or we can continue, and we're going to continue. I apparently took out one lamp, one small electric pole, 1,200 biters, which is a lot. The biggest thing I've killed that we built is pipes. Yeah, pipes are easy to hit with your tank. So we destroyed more pipes than we did anything else. And then big electric poles, 3, etc. Nice. So anyway, so you can continue, and now we can just keep going. We can keep playing the game. One thing you want to see here is when we look at our rocket silo, which is now loading back up with stuff to make another rocket. It has 100,000 science, or sorry, it has 1,000 science packs in it. These are the white science packs, they're the space science packs, and they allow you to build these things, which is energy weapon damage, physical weapon damage, artillery range, artillery shooting speed, mining productivity, and flammables. You can research these forever. They are infinite. They go from 7 up, and these guys go from 1 up, and these ones go from 4 up. The ones that go from 7 or 4 up are ones that we've researched already. Things. The ones that go from 1 up, these are brand new. Artillery shell range and shooting speed. We can research them, and they just go up. You notice that these take 2,000 science. These take 1,000. So if I grabbed these 1,000 science out of here and put them in my inventory, I can take them up to the science labs and distribute them into those science labs, and then start researching space science. Now, I don't want to, because I want to research the atomic bomb. So we are going to now, I'm going to chill out and relax until this atomic bomb gets researched, and then I'm going to show it to you, and then we're done. But I'm just going to come up to the labs. The labs will take white science. We would need to do something special because we can no longer run these belts over, because there is no inserter that could get white science into these guys. So we would need to reconfigure the way our science works. Anything post rocket launch, though, is not a beginner topic. That's something you're gonna have to figure out on your own, or wait until I decide to do an advanced series, or watch someone else, I guess. But anyway, atomic bomb will come eventually, as soon as these very, very slow trickles of blue and purple science come through and allow us to get it. So I'll be back when that happens. Alright, well, I'm embarrassed to admit it, but this has taken a really long time. I have upgraded things left, right, and center to get things running. Most of the science machines are yellow machines. A lot of them have speed modules on them. I upgraded my petroleum processing. I added petroleum processing. I added a whole bunch of red circuits, and I made these lines red so that it could process them. But we finally have atomic bombs. And I'm not going to bother researching anything else, because as soon as I use the atomic bomb, I am bailing on this series, and I cannot tell you how happy I am to not have to do it anymore. But anyway, the atomic bomb is basically just another rocket. You fire it with a rocket launcher, and it explodes. It requires explosives, rocket control units, and 30 of the good uranium. So let's first of all head up here and grab 30 of the good uranium. Luckily for us, we have been stockpiling uranium like it's going out of style, because it kind of is going out of style, because the whole series is going out of style. But we have a whole bunch of uranium stockpiled here, and it looks like I'm having a backup of regular stuff. Let's go ahead and let's make 4 atomic bombs. Why not, right? What's it gonna hurt to have 4 nuclear missiles as a rocket launcher? It sounds like something that would be in Fallout or something. Oh, also, we completely got rid of all the ore in the starter base. All the copper, all the stone, it's gone. We are fully running on remote mining operations, which is pretty cool. But anyway, we've got. Let me turn my logistics off as well, because I'm gonna have to pick stuff up. To make this nuclear thing, we need explosives and rocket control units. Now, we happen to be making explosives down here, because when I set up the explosives for the what do you call it, the artillery shells, so we can take the explosives out of these things, because we don't need them anymore. And that guy doesn't take explosives. We can take your explosives. And we also then need rocket control units, which are also easy to grab because we're making them right down here. I actually turned this belt so that these guys would stop producing, because they were taking a lot of resources out of the rest of the factory, and I was getting sick of it. So I diverted them off to the side. So now we're officially making our 4 atomic missiles. We might as well get these out of our inventory so that they'll go right into there. And let's find the nearest spider base. Probably up here in the desert. Yeah, up there in the desert. Let's just we're gonna run right up there and do this. And end this series off with a bang. Not with a whimper of launching a rocket, but with a bang, literally, of an atomic explosion. So let's head up here. Let's go this way, around our power supply, and I will meet you up there when I'm at the biter base. Okay, you ready for this? There's the biters. You have to be kind of careful when you do this. And I don't even know if the letter C will launch a missile. Let's go ahead and try it here. Let's go ahead and hit the letter C. It did. And let's back up a little bit. There goes the explosion. Okay, it wasn't actually as big of an explosion as, you know, you would expect from a nuclear missile. But it did take out the entire biter base, which isn't bad. Let's go ahead and head up here and see what this biter base looks like. And where are you? There you are. I don't know if it'll hit a tree. It won't. There they go. They're all dead. Boom. Done. Taken care of. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, it's not too much to look at. Let's we might as well go ahead and spend off our last two. But I have another series that's coming out. Another Factorio series that I have an idea for, and I'm gonna be launching that very soon. But this one is done. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I really, really, really enjoyed playing it. I'm Superfluous J, and I will, as always, talk at you later.